Good morning, everyone. Welcome to City of Pasadena City Council meeting, March 3rd, 2020, 10 a.m. Pastor Jorge, thank you so much. If you'll lead us with an invocation. Carrie Bass, you'll be doing the Pledge of Allegiance. If I would please stand up. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother Wagner. I said Brother Wagner, I'm so sorry. Mayor Wagner.
Oh, that's fine. I'll take brother.
Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for inviting me. It is really my honor to be here, and I want to pray for this city council. I really want to pray for all of you. It's my honor to be a part of the city of Pasadena, and living here is a privilege. And serving God in this area, it is almost, my dream. And I want to thank you. Thank you, God. Let's pray together for a moment. Lord Jesus, Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for this city, the city of Pasadena, where you allowed us to live, work, and sustain our families. Thank you, Jesus, for Mayor Wagner in the city council. We ask that you grant them wisdom to make the right decisions. Your word says, and you will seek me and find me when you search for me with all your heart. And right now, Lord Jesus, we are seeking your face with all our hearts, because we know that in you we can find wisdom, mercy, and love. Keep and protect this city and their people. I proclaim blessings upon Mayor Wagner, the city council, and the city of Pasadena. In the name of Jesus. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you, sir.
Will everybody join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the Texas flag? Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Carrie Bass.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for coming and participating in our city government. I want to recognize we've got Pasadena Chamber represented by Christina Womack. Thank you for coming today. And I think we have some awards that equal about 120 years. So congratulations to those folks. And with that, I pass.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Shangbine.
Good morning, everyone. I also, too, would like to welcome Ms. Pat Van Hout, former city councilwoman, and Christina Womack from the chamber. Welcome. To reiterate on Carrie's remarks, 120 years of service, and thank y'all so much for making Pasadena a better place with your service. On March the 21st, we have our citywide auction coming up for our seized and impounded vehicles. There's some great bargains and some great values on these vehicles, and the auction is located at 3124 Red Bluff here in Pasadena. Cash and credit cards only, no checks, but it's a wonderful opportunity to pick up a vehicle if you need a vehicle. And then also, too, would like to congratulate our Clean Street folks for the Clean Street Rodeo. So congratulations to y'all, and thank y'all for what you do to make our city a much better and safer place for all of us to live in. And with that, I pass.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Ibarra.
I just want to thank Charles Bryant, Mr. Martinez, Mr. Rendon, and Mr. Silva for their 30 years of service. I appreciate the help over the years. And also congratulations to the Parks Department, Clean Streets, for their hard work. And I think y'all been winning that award for the last 10 years, so good job.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Lehman.
Thank everybody for coming out this morning, and I too would like to thank and congratulate city employees on their tenure with the city, and hope y'all will continue on. And I too would like to congratulate our city employees on winning the competition again. I know we have the best, and once again, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Harrison.
Thank you, Mayor. Congratulations to all the employees on the service award. That's great. 30 and 40 years. That's a long time to put up with us up here. Did a great job. You're the bread and backbone of this city, I guarantee you. And also, I was driving by the Little League ballpark last night, and Councilman brought up about the lights a month and a half ago. And not this weekend, but the weekend before, I stopped by and talked to the president of the league, and he said the word he had is they've got about 15 lights out there. And the word he had was that the subcontractor wouldn't do the work. And this has been going on a month and a half. So the following Monday, I talked to a city employee, and he is a different word altogether. He said that actually contract, those lights are under warranty. Back in the Manlove administration, when we put the lights up and rebuild the ballparks, we have a warranty. But it's been raining so much that they had to put pads underneath the heavy-duty trucks. They can't get in there to put the lights up, he said. And I said, well, that's understandable. We don't want to go to that outside cause. He said they need 3 days of sunshine. And I said, well, I understand that. I said, I'll tell you what you do. I'll do an Indian sun dance. And I did. And the sun has been out 7 days. And I drove by there last night, and the lights are still out. It's a shame. Little League is starting. They couldn't even play on one field last night. And somebody from Parks and Recreation Department needs to get on the ball and put those lights out the ballpark. This has been going on too long. And the excuses just go back and forth. We need those lights fixed or somebody won't get hurt out there playing ball. And we need it done now. The leagues are starting. And with that, I pass.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Castelos.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate y'all coming out and being part of city government. I'd like to start out and say congratulations to the employees. We appreciate y'all and what you guys do day in and day out. You know, it's something sometimes that most of the time goes unnoticed, and we want to appreciate that. We appreciate you guys very much. Secondly, I'd like to talk about the water rates for disabled individuals. We had a man come up last meeting, Mr. Courtney, and he was talking, he's a disabled individual, and he's wanting water rates lowered for individuals that are disabled to help them out. When they're on a fixed income, it's very hard for them to pay their bills. So I think it's something that we need to really, really look into. I've already contacted the water director over there in billing, and she's working on something. Hopefully we can get something taken care of with that, but it definitely needs to happen. I think it's something that can happen and the city can manage, so I'm looking forward to that. The other thing is that we also had a lady, her name was Heather Kirkpatrick, came by last meeting being harassed by the permitting department. She's a disabled veteran. She bought a home here in Pasadena. Everything passed the inspection. She had it inspected, and then she went to go get the utilities turned on, and she's been getting a runaround from the city permitting department. So I've contacted the permitting department. I haven't been contacted back. I'm asking them, could you please contact me back so we can discuss this, get something worked out for this individual. Again, she is a disabled veteran. She's just trying to get in her home, get to doing and going on with her life. So if you could help us out with that, I'd appreciate it. That I pass, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Wheeler.
By the time this airs, probably air tomorrow, but for all of you in the audience, today is election day. Last day to vote in the primaries. Polls close at 7. You can vote at any location in Harris County. And with that, I pass.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Caton.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today. Again, if you haven't voted already in these primaries, it's important that you go out and cast a vote for the Republicans or Democrats, whoever's going to be running for those seats. And again, congratulations to the city employees for all of your years of services to the city of Pasadena. With that, I pass.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Citizens wishing to speak to council. First is Mr. Jones, Jerry Jones.
Morning, Mayor, Council, Madam Secretary. My name is Jerry Jones. I've spoken before council a number of times, but I live in the Parkgate North subdivision. And I have two things I want to talk about this morning. One is we've just recently been blessed with a couple of extra stop signs. Well, actually, not just us, the citizens of Pasadena. Entering our neighborhood, there's two ways to enter or exit our neighborhood. We either go out on Yuma to Fairmont or Columbia and cross Preston or to Preston. And in the last couple of weeks, they added two stop signs in the middle of the Preston Road. So when you have a stop sign at either side of the road, but when you pull into the median between, it's a divided road. And when you pull into the median, there's another stop sign. So you have to stop. And there's a lot of traffic on that road, but it's not nearly as trafficked as Fairmont. So when you go out of the neighborhood on Yuma to Fairmont, there are no such double stop signs. It's, people understand the need, the traffic situation. They understand the need to yield to the cross traffic of the major road. So there aren't any extra stop signs or anything there. And you can drive up and down Fairmont or Preston or Burke or any of these divided roads. And I challenge you to find a stop sign in the middle of the road somewhere other than our neighborhood. We don't need those stop signs. I've talked to a number of neighbors. Nobody wants them. I thought maybe it was for revenue purposes because you could sure write a lot of stop sign tickets because people just, for 30 years, that crossover has been no stop signs, and now there's a stop sign in the middle of the road, so that's kind of crazy. And the other thing is just a little perception issue, and I just wanted to comment on it. We have a pocket park in our neighborhood, and it's well-established park. It's been there, well, there's a pipeline running underneath that piece of property, so they couldn't build a house on it, so it's a park. And the landscaping at the entrance of that park is just all the original stuff that's been there for years and years. Was just all dug up and replaced, and it's very pretty. I'm happy and proud of what was done there. But I'm curious how many north side parks got new landscaping this year. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Christina Womack.
Good morning, Mayor, City Council members. I just want to say thank you for a great State of the City and launch of 2020. For those of you that weren't able to be there, I invite you to go check out the YouTube channel. Thanks to the Pasadena channel, it was recorded so you can go and see and hear some of that news. Want to say congratulations to the businesses that were recognized there. Our 2020 Business of the Year, Thrivent Financial, Industry of the Year, Turner Industries, and then our nonprofit organization of the year, Crown Hill Cemetery. We do have some upcoming events celebrating those organizations. Our nonprofit of the year will be celebrated April 2nd at Texas Chiropractic College at an evening reception, and Turner Industries at our Industrial Appreciation Golf Tournament on May 6th. The other thing I want to make note is I've shared before about all of our nonprofit organizations and churches within our community and the many really abundant resources that we have. And so for those of you that are trying to connect with understanding how to engage or how to serve or what's available, they meet this Thursday at 8:30 at the Chamber. Last month we had almost 40 people in a room that was really designed for 30. So it's great to see everybody wanting to come together and really work together and learn how they can collaborate. A couple of other things. Our breakfast tomorrow featuring our first responders is sold out at La Iglesia de Pueblo, so thank you to them for hosting. So don't miss out on the luncheon on March 19th. The CEO of Sandler Sales Training, global keynote speaker and best-selling author and really expert from a sales management standpoint on March 19th out at San Jacinto College, so make your reservations now before it's too late. And then also we're hiring for a member services coordinator to join the Chamber team. And so if you know someone who has an interest in joining our team that has excellent customer service and support skills, this position really focuses on onboarding and welcoming new members, administrative support to the team, coordinating ribbon cuttings, really from a retention standpoint. So the full description's on our website. You can send applicants there. And then lastly, at State of the City, and since then, copies of our 2020 Discover Pasadena Resource Guide and Magazine were mailed out or distributed. So if you need more copies, or it's really the next best thing to a phone book, since those don't exist anymore, to really support local businesses who support our community. So I encourage you to use that as a resource. And then episode 2 of Discover Pasadena launched. That really features some great things about our city, as well as a PISD recent graduate who is staying right here in Pasadena, an example of the goal for allowing people to understand that Pasadena is the right place to stay after school and come back and work. So I encourage you guys to watch that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Really appreciate all your work. Amanda Durr? Yeah, apparently it's not Amanda then. Okay, looks like an A.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor, council members. Good to be here with you this morning. My name is Amanda Sturr. I'm the Government Affairs Director for Crown Castle, the nation's largest provider of shared wireless infrastructure. We own and operate 40,000 cell towers, 70,000 small cells, and 80,000 linear miles of fiber nationwide. We're building out the 4G and 5G infrastructure for the major wireless carriers throughout the entire country. We have offices located in every major city throughout the country, but our corporate office happens to be right down the road in Houston here. About 6 weeks ago, I sent you all a letter kind of outlining some of the issues that we've been having, being able to deploy $8 million investment in infrastructure in the city of Pasadena with fiber and small cells. So far, over the past several years, we've been able to receive 4 permits from Public Works. We have a great relationship with Public Works. Through no fault of their own, there's a provision in the city's small cell design manual that was passed several years ago, back in 2017, that makes it very restrictive and nearly impossible for us to deploy this small cell and fiber technology in the city of Pasadena right now. In comparison, in the city of Houston, we've deployed 1,100 of these small cell nodes, 1,800 miles of fiber. And we've deployed networks in LaPorte, in South Houston, in the Woodlands, in Cinco Ranch, in Dallas, in the suburbs of Dallas, throughout the state of Texas, and throughout the country. The good news is that I know that the city is looking at amending one of the really restrictive provisions in the small cell design manual. And I just wanted to come introduce myself to you. I have copies of the letter that we sent in case you hadn't received it. I'll leave it with the city secretary. And we look forward to working with you over the next few weeks to kind of relook at the city's design manual and be able to deploy this technology that's going to really benefit the residents, the businesses, and the visitors to the city of Pasadena. Thank you.
Amanda, thank you so much.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much. Look forward to working with you.
Jed Apaka.
Thank you, Mayor and Council, to speak with you today. I just wanted to really talk with you guys. This is a great time of year. Everything's beginning to grow. I know the weeds in my yard are starting to get big too, so we're starting to get busy out there. I'd really like to recognize today our Parks and Recreation and Clean Street staff. Our Pasadena team participated and won first place in the TRAPS, which is Texas Recreation and Park Society East Region Maintenance Rodeo, which was held in League City in November. So congratulations to them. That's this big trophy right here. We've actually won it. Pasadena's won it 7 of the last 17 years, I think. So we've done pretty good over the year. Just a brief overview. Texas Recreation and Park Society is a nonprofit educational and professional organization founded in 1937 to advance the profession of parks, recreation, and leisure services in Texas. So the maintenance rodeo is something that they do every year. There's a regional one, which encompasses the Houston region and all of the cities around here. The maintenance rodeo is where many of the Parks and Recreation staff who don't typically get recognized or have something to be recognized for have an opportunity to participate in competitions such as zero-turn obstacle course, zero-turn mower obstacle course, truck and trailer driving, backpack blower, nail driving, irrigation, plant identification, and a few others. So these events really highlight some of our hardest working employees from Parks and Recreations and Clean Streets. These are the staff, these are the people who really keep our parks and city looking nice. Also this year, this year in November, we're going to be hosting the regional one out at the convention center too. So it'll be, if you want to come out and see some of the best zero-turn mower drivers in the region, come out and do that. So not only did our Pasadena team take first place in the East Region Maintenance Rodeo, but last week down in Galveston, there was the TRAP State Conference going on, so they also had the State Maintenance Rodeo at that time. So our city also took first at the State Maintenance Rodeo. So if you think of all the cities in the state, they had sent some teams down to participate in the same competitions, and Pasadena came out first. So it's very exciting to get that this year. I'd like to recognize our team that participated in the state competition, and if we can, we could take a picture with all of our hardware up there.
Absolutely.
With you guys. Our team is Greg Taylor, Brenda Legoreta, Lupe Gonzalez, Ray Salas, Simon Briseño, Moises Garza, Jesus Jaime, and Kenny Wolford. So if they want to come up, and with some of the other staff, if we could take a quick picture with you guys.
Let's go.
Yes. Thank you.
Get that trophy in there. Again, thank y'all. Okay, they're not here. Thank you. Thank you, mate. Okay, again, employees, thank y'all so much. All right, Mr. Pennington, you're up.
Mayor and Council, it's my pleasure today to recognize two employees for their lengthy service to the city of Pasadena. Charles Bryant will come up here, and Victor Redon will come up here and stand beside me. There were two other employees, as mentioned on the agenda, but unfortunately they couldn't be here. That's Jorge Martinez and Juan Silva. Collectively, these four employees, as y'all mentioned earlier, represent 120 years of service to the city of Pasadena, and that's why they're up here today to be commended and recognized. Our first recipient is Charles Bryant, or as we affectionately call him, Ricky Bobby. Ricky and his group, Alan, Eddie, they're kind of the ones that you call when you want something done. You don't know who's supposed to do it, but you call one of those three, they get it done. We really appreciate that. Ricky is being awarded this nice gold engraved watch for his 30 years of service with the city. He's corrected me. He didn't spend it all in one department. It's about a half dozen departments, but we're going to chalk it all up to fleet right now. Congratulations, Ricky.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Victor Rendon. He's also being recognized for 30 years of service with the city. And has all yours been in engineering?
Half in Street and Bridge.
In Street and Bridge, okay. So those are 30 years of service to the city. So congratulations to you, Victor. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to try to take a quick pic. Again, sorry to get you out of your seats real quick, but we'll come up there and take a quick pic.
Yes.
Thanks. Walk up there. Walk up there.
Thank y'all.
We'll get back to work. Thank y'all.
Okay, council brings down the presentation of the minutes of February 18th, 2020, 6 p.m. Motion by Lehman, second by, was that Harrison? Ibarra? All in favor? Any opposed? Brings down the progress payments. Motion Shanebine,
Second.
second Bass. Any questions?
Mayor.
Go ahead, sir.
I just want to, on item F, I want to thank RAC Industries. They finished the wafer from Broadway to Eagle, but I do want to compliment them. Anytime there was any concerns, any issues about anything that the residents complained out there, they went out there and took care of those complaints in a timely manner. So I do want to appreciate their hard work. Thanks.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Brings down to finance resolutions. Motion Lehman. Second Ibarra. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Brings us down to personnel changes A and C. Motion Ibarra. Second Harrison. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. We have one no. Okay, Madam Secretary, brings us down to final readings.
Ordinance 2020-22, authorizing approving the purchase by the City of Pasadena, Texas of AT-200A, a gas-powered bucket truck from Alltech Industries Incorporated. Ordinance 2020-23, agreement between Harris County and the City of Pasadena for the drainage improvements for Armand Bayou Upper Reaches Project. Ordinance 2020-24, authorizing approving spending general obligation bonds 2003 from the funding source 810-33180 in the amount of $3,287.54, CIP number L004 for support bracing for shelves at the Fairmont Branch Library. Ordinance 2020-25, authorizing approving the renovation of Vern Cox Multipurpose Center swimming pool by Progressive Commercial Aquatics Incorporated using the buy-board contract number 53317 in the amount of $332,300 with a 5% contingency of $16,615 for a total appropriation of $348,915.
Motion by Bass. Second. Second by Shanebine. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Madam Secretary, brings down the first readings.
Ordinance 2020-26, authorizing and approving the annual maintenance agreement by and between the City of Pasadena, Texas and Ciberon LLC for the One Solution software systems with Ciberon LLC, a Central Square company.
Motion by Caton, second by Ibarra. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Ordinance 2020-27, authorizing approving a contract by and between the City of Pasadena, Texas and First Spear for purchase by the City of Pasadena, Texas of body armor vests and accessories.
Motion.
Motion Shanebine.
Second.
Second by Harrison. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Ordinance 2020-28, authorizing and approving a contract between the City of Pasadena, Texas and Novus Wood Group, LP, for wood grinding services for the City of Pasadena.
Motion Lehman. Second Harrison. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Ordinance 2020-29, authorizing and approving a contract between the City of Pasadena, Texas and Inter-American Motor LLC for purchase by the City of Pasadena of automotive and equipment batteries.
Motion Ibarra.
Second.
Second by Shanebine. Any questions? All in favor? Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
This is a contract for batteries. I don't know if you guys remember or aware, I guess a few months ago, we were having conversations and debate on batteries and how much money we've been spending. I think that this possibly could be a little bit underbid for $50,000. I know that when we were doing business with Bass and Meineke, we were doing about a little over $100,000 a year for batteries. So I'm waiting to see if this is going to come back to us for an amendment or something along those lines. But I am happy to see that we are doing a contract that needed to be done. We were operating without a contract for 3 years, so this is something that we need to do and actually keep tabs on. That way we can make sure that city's not overspending and we're getting a good deal on batteries. So with that, I pass.
Okay. All in favor?
Mayor?
Go ahead, sir.
Sometimes we have debates up here and we have conversations, and I think that this is an example of one of those conversations that's produced something fruitful. For 3 years, we operated without a contract. We were just going down there with a debit card or checks and buying batteries for who knows how much. And so I feel like this is a good thing that we are doing. I know in 2017, I am concerned about the price here because in 2017, I think we spent about $175,000 as a city at Bass and Meineke, and this contract's only for $50,000. So I'm wondering if is it enough money, or what were we spending all that additional $125,000 on? So I'll be waiting to see what else comes out of this, but with that, I'll pass.
Okay, sir. All in favor? Any opposed?
Ordinance 2020-30, amending ordinance 2019-217 relating to a pay increase for classified police employees effective March 9th, 2020.
Motion Shane Shanebine, second by Harrison. Any questions? All in favor? Go ahead, sir.
This is something that has been long overdue. I guess we've been waiting quite a while for this to happen. I'd like to thank the police officers for being here. Officer Linscomb and the union worked really, really hard to get these pay raises done for police department. I want to commend you guys, the union, Pasadena, PD in general. It really goes to show that if you guys stick together and want to get something done, it can be done and it can get accomplished. So kudos to you guys, and it's something that, like I said, with all the raises, it's well deserved. So that I pass.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor,
Go ahead, sir.
I too want to commend our police officers union and especially Sergeant Lithicum. This was a process that was in the works for several years, and through their due diligence and a partnership with Mr. Pennington and council members and the mayor, this was able to get done, but it was through the tenacity of Sergeant Lithicum that made this possible, and the union. So I personally want to thank you because I had the opportunity to work with you on this, and thank you for what you've done.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to say thank you to the police union for the work they've been done. Sergeant Lithicum and Sergeant, I appreciate your pink tie. Not bad.
Thank you, sir. All in favor? Any opposed? Go ahead, Madam Secretary.
Ordinance 2020-31, authorizing approving a contract with Johnson LLC for a new golf course maintenance barn, CIP R063, in the amount of $67,500 with additional services of $10,000 for a total appropriation of $77,500 from the 2017 Certificate of Obligation Fund balance account.
We have a motion by Lehman, second by Caton. Any questions?
Mayor,
Who said Mayor? Go ahead, sir.
I'd just like to say that this is long overdue. The building we have out there, a maintenance building, is virtually falling down. It's leaking all over the place. When you come off of the 17th green headed towards 18, you can see this old building. So, like I said, it's long overdue, and we need something out there to keep our equipment in, something that's more secure, and we'll have a break room for some of our city employees. So this is a good thing. Without a pass.
Thanks, sir. Councilman Cassess?
I agree. This is something that needs to be done. However, what I disagree with is the amount of money it's going to cost. This is $77,500 coming out of certificate of obligations, which in my opinion should be used for roads and streets and drainage. But it's only for a consulting fee. So this $77,500 is not going to build the building. This is just for somebody to design and engineer it. Now, I don't know if anybody was aware, but whenever you go to purchase, just a resident of the city, when you go to purchase a metal building or anything that's pre-built or you're going to buy a kit for, it's already engineered. You go buy something, it is windstorm engineered, have engineers that design these buildings, give you the greatest steel, the gauge of metal, the whole 9 yards. So these buildings are already engineered. So in order, to say that you're going to spend $77,000 on engineering, this is a 2,500 square foot metal building, guys. This is not, rocket science. It's not a whole lot that goes on. It's metal building, okay? We could probably do this job with the contracts that we have with concrete, that we already have contracts with concrete. They could go pour the concrete. We could have somebody assemble this, and we can probably do the whole thing for $77,000. A metal building this size, I already did some research online. You can buy them for anywhere from $25,000 to $35,000. Engineered for 100-mile-an-hour winds. This is ridiculous. This is just not a good use of your tax dollars. I'm sorry. I'm not going to support this. That I pass.
Thank you, sir. Any other comment? Mr. Harrison, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. I too have looked at the pictures, and the pictures terrible. I don't know how maintenance service let it get by all those years without doing any maintenance on the building. But the building needs to be repaired. It needs to be tore down, a new building built. And I was looking at the architects. I had the same questions. Why do we need an architect for a metal building? But even further discussions with the gentleman head of the project, he gave me a figure that metal building is going to cost around $300,000. $300,000 for a building that two people are going to eat their lunch in. They're going to store their lawnmowers, and they may have some improvement on the septic tank, the sanitary sewer line. But to me, it's just too much money. And around $300,000 for a metal building. I think they could go to Whirlwind or some other metal buildings and get it for less cost and without an architect. And this is money is the same money that this council rejected when they were going to spend $500,000 on a waterfall on the 18th tee. It's the same money, but I still think we need to spend it prudent. And even though I really think we need a new building, the cost is too high. I can't support it.
Thank you, sir. Any other comment? Okay, all in favor?
Mayor.
Oh, go ahead, sir.
When we look at our facilities and we look at the infrastructure that we have on many of our facilities around the city, there comes a point where we have to replace them. And there's more involved in this than just building a steel building on a piece of empty property that's going to house equipment. There's other factors that go into that. They're negating to tell you that within that scope of work is a security fence around the facility. Also, you can't just pull money from concrete projects, because then what happens is you don't do sidewalks for your residents that are tripping and falling within our communities. And there comes a point where you have to invest. And investing in infrastructure at our golf course, yes, I was one that voted against the $500,000 for one hole. This isn't just for one hole. This is for the quality of life for every single person that goes out there and utilizes our golf course. So I'm going to be supporting this project.
Thanks, sir. Okay.
Mayor?
Go ahead, sir.
I just want to say that I do think that, we have to invest, and we do need a new storage facility. But these consulting fees are just getting out of hand. Almost $80,000 for someone, because the consultant's going to do is going to go online and purchase a metal building. He's not going to go engineer. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't get any simpler. When it comes to buildings, a metal building is as simple as it gets. You pour concrete and you put metal up. You're not finishing it out. You're not putting sheetrock. You're not doing. It's as simple as it gets. These consulting fees have to stop. Just last meeting, we passed $50,000 for consulting to build a fence. We've hired more and more in the city, more and more people in the city. Our payroll's overloaded, and we still go out for more consulting fees. And the sad part is we're putting this on a credit card. This is our bond money. I'm going to be supporting this.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any other comment?
Mayor.
Go ahead, sir.
I know it's a lot of money to spend for a building, but this isn't a prefabbed building that they're going to order and just put out there. And if we don't protect the equipment at the golf course by providing a building to store it in, then we're going to end up having to replace equipment because it's been damaged by the weather. And even though this is a lot of money, I think we need it, and I'll support it.
Thanks, sir. Okay, all in favor?
Mayor.
Oh, go ahead, sir.
So my definition of quality of life is completely different from some other council member. Improving quality of life is improving streets, it's improving our park equipment, replacing our streets and our water and sewer lines. I don't disagree, and I want to thank Robbie Lai for taking the time to answer the questions as far as with this particular project. The problem that I have is this building is bad. I won't disagree with you 100% on that. The problem is we're going to spend $77,000 on a consultant fee. We can probably do it in-house, or we can probably have somebody else do it cheaper. If the construction was going to be in this particular ordinance, then I would probably support it. But $77,000 for somebody to tell us, hey, you need to do this, is outrageous. And people have come here and spoke time and time every week about our parks and the fact that we're not replacing park equipment at our parks and our sidewalks and our water lines and our sewer lines. And last night I drove around and I think I need an alignment in my vehicle. I mean, those are some serious issues, and I just think that we can spend our money wiser. Well, that'll pass.
Thank you, sir. Kerry, you want to say something?
Yes. This issue was not brought up in pre-council. We could have discussed it there. We sat around for about 25 minutes waiting to come in here, and now we discuss it. This is a first reading, and I see the concerns of certain council about being $77,000 for design and stuff. And if you just say it's just a plain metal building, that's fine. But with first readings, we have 2 weeks to go back, talk to Mr. Lyde and ask him. I trust in his concepts and his desires to help build these things. I don't think he's just throwing money out there. There's a reason that we are consulting for this engineering. I believe what we need to do is pass it on this first reading. If there are any questions that can't be resolved, then vote against it on the next one. But there's got to be a reason that he's doing this. I'm not going to profess to be the professional in it. I'm relying on his expertise.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. We got 4 noes.
I have Councilman Casados, Wheeler, Rivera, and Harrison.
Yes. Passes. Go ahead, Madam Secretary.
Ordinance 2020-32, amending ordinance 2019-161, which authorized and approved a contract between the City of Pasadena, Texas, and Perry Construction for the construction of a new maintenance building by adding $42,039 to the original appropriation of $594,204. Excuse me, Mayor, let me start over on that one. $594,423.90.
Motion.
Motion, Caton. Second by Lehman. Any questions?
Mayor.
Go ahead, sir.
This ordinance was originally voted on in 2019, as Madam Secretary said or stated, for $594,000. Perry Construction has now come back to the city and says, oh, wait, by the way, we just discovered that we need to do some more dirt work, so they're going to charge us another $42,000 to do that. I think that that is really on that company to eat that cost. Reason why I say that is because you have contractors and people that do business every day, day in and day out. They go give somebody a bid, and they're supposed to stick by that. That's just the way business is done. Now, I don't know how the city operates, but for them to come back to the city and say, hey, by the way, we need $42,000, it really should be $4,800 or $48,000, excuse me. But the dirt that they're going to dig out, they're going to leave it on the property, so we have to deal with that, so we can save $6,000. That's crazy. Perry Construction, if they bid it wrong, that's not on the city's dime, and that shouldn't be on the taxpayers' dime to pay another $42,000. That should be well within their profit margin. I'm sorry, if they didn't do that, then that's on them. I'm not going to support it. That'll pass.
Thank you. Any other comment?
Mayor,
Go ahead, sir.
on any commercial property that has maintenance done to it, there's always negotiated in a 5% or over cost for work that's unforeseeable to be done. And to say that the dirt's just going to be laid there, well, we actually have a use for that dirt, and that dirt is going to be transported and used over at our police and fire academy to build the berms up over there. So there is a dual purpose for the use of the word dirt. Dirt is very much in demand these days, but there are contingencies when you write contracts, and anytime you write a residential or a commercial contract, there always is a contingency of a percentage that you work within that scope of work.
Thank you, sir. Okay,
Mayor?
go ahead, sir.
There are contingencies, and you have a little bit of flexibility there. You do your bid, and there's, plus or minus 5%. I think that's understandable. Everything's perfect. But when you go over those contingencies in a governmental body, you got to bring it back before council. And that's what happened. What happened here is they've gone over that. So not only did they bid the lowest bid, but then now they want more money. And what it is, it's unfair because there may have been a company that they may have won this bid by a few $1,000s, and they get the contract and they come back and ask for more money. Well, that's not fair to the other companies who may have bid it more but bid it correctly. So I don't like supporting this type of thing. If you bid a project, you say you can do it for this amount of money, then you should do it for that amount of money.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to read the ordinance here. It says, by adding $42,039 to the original appropriation of $594,423.90. That's what this council appropriated. So the contingency is already built in there. It's not something they added on. And so therefore, I can't support it.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Barr.
Mayor, I'm going to vote no on this reading, and I'll figure out next reading. But I was trying to get a hold of the department head to get my questions answered, but unfortunately, I never got a call back. So I'm going to be voting no on this.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor,
Go ahead, sir.
on a building like this, I'm going to go back and double check. But normally you may have up to 50, 60 bid items. Everything has got a price, and everything is listed out for bid items. I'm going to go back and double check and see if this was left off of the bid item list, or is it on there and now they're coming back. So I'm going to wait until next week. I'm going to go ahead and vote for it this time, but I'm going to double check that and make sure that it is included as one of the bid items. Okay, there's a bid item in these contracts for the foundation. There's bid items for the structural steel. There's bid items for the electrical, the sewer, the plumbing, the concrete, the dirt work, whatever we have. But I'm gonna double check and make sure that this was, if it's not left off, then we're gonna take another look at it. Would I pass?
Thank you, sir.
Mayor,
Go ahead, sir.
I'm also going to support this on first reading, but like Councilman Caton, I want to get some questions answered before second reading.
Thank you, sir. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Ibarra, Harrison, Casados, and Wheeler, no. Passes on first reading.
Ordinance 2020-33, amending ordinance 2019-202, renewal of contract with J.P. Morgan Chase for the City of Fort Worth Cooperative for the procurement card program by revision of Appendix A.
Motion Casados, second by Lehman. Any questions? Go ahead, sir.
This ordinance is for an increase of $15,000 for the procurement card program for employees to do traveling. A couple of months ago, we just had the ordinance for the P card come to council. We approved it. It wasn't a unanimous thing, but it got approved. And there was a limit of $30,000 on these purchase cards for travel for city employees. Now, the Purchasing Director Karen Wallace wants to come and ask council for $15,000 more. The whole reason for this ordinance for P cards is to try and control, regulate spending of the city employees. They haven't done any of that. As a matter of fact, they're coming back for $15,000 more a month. Okay, so now we're looking at $45,000 a month for city employees to go travel. I don't understand that. That's beyond me. Annually, that's $540,000 that we're spending for city employees to go around wherever they go to do traveling. And what Karen Wallace said this morning in pre-council was that, well, since y'all put a limit on the personal P cards that my employees can use, now it's got to go to this bigger card that has a limit of $30,000. So this administration hasn't stopped spending money. They're increasing the amount of money they're spending, and they're asking for an extra $15,000 a month so they can do Lord knows what on your dime. I can't support that. That I pass.
Okay, sir, thank you. Any other comment?
Mayor.
Go ahead, sir.
So there's always another side of this as well. When we hire new police officers, guess what? We have to pay for their training if it's out of the city or they go to a conference or go on to another city for training. We have to pay for that. If we have city employees doing business with other cities, we have to have a record and we have to pay for that. We have records that indicate where every single city employee goes when they turn in their receipts, their mileage on these cards. So if we have any discrepancies, all we have to do is look at the paper trail. And we can find out where people are eating, where the hotel stays are, the car rentals, things like that. We don't pay mileage for folks. We put it on a card. We have rental cars. So we have to have a way to pay our bills, and this is the most efficient way to pay our bills.
Thank you. Any other comment? Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, the P card's been passed. I never was a fan favorite of P cards, and my biggest concern is that it said that they showed what hotel they stayed at, it showed what restaurant they ate at, but it really doesn't identify what they ate or drank or whatever. You know, it's against the city ordinance to purchase alcohol beverages on the P cards. But according to Chase Bank and the city of Pasadena, we never see what they actually purchased. We only see where they purchased it from. With that, I pass.
Thank you, sir. Any other comment?
Mayor,
Go ahead, sir.
let me just mention, in pre-council, we went over this, and there's a clear justification, there's a clear reason, why we need to do this. And somebody mentioned a while ago that it's going to cost an additional $500,000. If we don't go anywhere, if we don't spend any money, there's no cost. What we're trying to do is take care of these people that go and represent the city of Pasadena. These people, when I travel, I got to turn in a justification on my meals and everything that I use. So nobody from the city is trying to gig anybody without a pass.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
I don't think anybody's against traveling. I think professional development's important. But when you're going from $30,000 a month to $45,000 a month, a $15,000 increase, to me, that's a little disturbing. I understand we've got to pay for the registrations from certain P cards and stuff like that. I'm going to vote no for it, but I am going to try to request a further, more specific of who's going traveling where. Look, I'm all for professional development, but when you're asking taxpayer to pay $15,000 a month more, it's a bit high in my opinion. So with that, I'll pass.
Thank you, sir. Any other comment?
Mayor, I think the issue with this is that if you have an expense, maybe a police cadet class coming through needs to pay for a lump sum of training, got to send in our city, there's no problem paying for that. Just bring it before council, we'll vote on it. But what happens is you lose transparency when you raise the limits up to this amount, over $500,000 a year, $45,000 a month that can be spent on a card without ever coming before council. And you say, well, all you got to do is request that information. We do request information. And what department heads have told us time and time again is, mayor told us not to give it to you. And that's documented. So that's an issue. So this is about transparency. It's about knowing where this money's going. And really, $15,000 extra a month, $45,000 a month, where are employees going? And I don't have a problem with bringing it before council voting on it. I won't support it.
Thank you, sir. I want this administration never told anyone not to give anything out. You go through the mayor's office, you can get anything you want, no matter what it is. Number two is, this does not increase the budget. The budget has been approved this month. We're not asking for more money to the budget. All departments have money for their travel. This just increases one credit card. So at one time, like for this month, we ran over a little bit because so many people wanted to go to different conferences and stuff. All this does is protect our way of making sure we stay within the budget. With that said, all in favor?
Mayor.
Any opposed?
No.
Ibarra, Harrison, Castelos, and Wheeler, no.
I vote yes.
Oh, yeah? Okay, so thank you, sir. Harrison, yes. This is on first reading. Go ahead, Madam Secretary.
Ordinance 2020-34, authorizing approving transfer to Converge Midstream LLC of one 24-inch crude oil and condensate pipeline franchise granted by ordinance number 2016-22 to Fairway Energy Partners LLC, providing a savings clause and providing for severability.
Motion Ibarra, second by Castelos. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ordinance 2020-35, authorizing and approving transfer to Converge Midstream LLC of one 24-inch crude and condensate pipeline franchise granted by ordinance number 2016-23 to Fairway Energy Partners LLC, providing a savings clause and providing for severability.
Motion Lehman, second by Wheeler. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Madam Secretary brings down the resolutions.
Resolution 2020-37, accepting a donation of $250 from Ken Phelps for the use by the Parks and Recreation Department in connection with Multipurpose Center Wheelchair Wind-Up Softball Tournament. Resolution 2020-38, accepting a donation of $1,000 from Peggy Turner for the use by the Parks and Recreation Department in connection with Multipurpose Center programming. Resolution 2020-39, accepting a donation of $1,000 from Neighbors Emergency Center for use by the Parks and Recreation Department in connection with the annual Fourth Fest event on July 4th, 2020. Resolution 2020-40, authorizing the Pasadena Parks and Recreation Department to apply for an HEB Community Investment Grant in the amount of $5,000 for the Fourth Fest event on July 4th, 2020. Resolution 2020-41, accepting in-kind donations of 32 pairs of soccer cleats valued at $600 from the Hung family co-founders of Donate Sports, LLC, for use by the Parks and Recreation Department in connection with the U.S. Soccer Foundation Passback Program. Resolution 2020-42, authorizing the Pasadena Parks and Recreation Department to apply for an HEB Community Investment Grant in the amount of $10,000 for the Philharmonic and Food Truck event on October 3rd, 2020. Resolution 2020-43, authorizing the Pasadena Parks and Recreation Department to apply for an Autism Speaks grant for Autism Water Safety Program at the Vern Cox Multipurpose Center. Resolution 2020-44, directing the city secretary to accept and file executed industrial district agreements whose form and substance was approved by ordinance number 2018-107, including Star Delaware Realty, LLC, formerly known as Susser Petroleum Company, LLC. Resolution 2020-45, authorizing and approving an amendment to the fiscal year 2020 budget for the Pasadena Economic Development Corporation, PEDC, as approved by the PEDC Board on February 27th, 2020. Resolution 2020-46, amending resolution number 2013-103 and adopting a revised citizen participation plan for federally funded programs.
Motion.
Motion Shanebine, second by Bass. Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
I'd like to separate Resolution I and discuss it.
Well, you discuss it now, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. This is authorizing approving the amendment fiscal year 2020 for the Pasadena Economic Development. As far as I can determine, I have never supported an open-ended contract before in my life. They put in there how much amount of money they want, but they don't tell us what they want to spend it for. So therefore, I cannot support it.
Thank you, sir. Okay, any other comments? Go ahead, sir.
Madam Secretary, my vote is no.
on I.
Yeah, I'd also like to separate H and I. And if I may, Mayor, getting back to the P card thing, the mayor just said that they went over their spending, so now we're making an amendment on the procurement card policy so that they're within their overspending max. She literally just said that, so.
Actually, it was way over, but they cut back. on
Exactly,
some of
you
the
said they
schools.
overspent.
Exactly, sir.
You overspent. Thank you. You
Yeah,
said it,
right.
it's on record.
It's on record. Look at
That's
the
what he
budget,
said,
sir.
so.
Look at the budget.
Getting back to I, on the, what are we on here? You may have lost resolutions. So authorizing and approving an amendment for fiscal year 2020 for the Pasadena Economic Development Group. This is $4.2 million they want to take from their fund balance, their general fund, and move it into some different areas. And I'm in agreement with Councilmember Harrison that there's not really any project that they can say, hey, we're going to do. They just say, this money's going to be allotted for, what does it say here? Pavement improvements, utility service, limited services. But at the same time, there aren't really, there's nothing that keep us from spending on any other things. So we don't know what the money's going to be spent on. And how can we give them a $4.2 million blank check to say, you know what, this is what we want to do it for? We gave them $2.5 million for buildings about a year ago. We didn't know what building they were going to buy. They went ahead and bought the bank. We demolished it. We got $2.5 million in the bank, and the property is only worth about 1.2. We can't. We're just sitting on it. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with this money, but I can't support it until they let me know what they're going to do with it. That being said, I pass.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor,
Go ahead, sir.
I've had experience running a business that ran a $45 million budget yearly for almost 15 to 20 years. All they're doing is moving the 4.2 million. They're subdividing that into three categories. They're putting 2.2 million into existing services and any other cost for development within our community as far as utilities, traffic, and drainage. 1 million of that also is being subdivided into corridor development, which is for utilities, traffic, and any other work associated with such improvements. And then the third bucket they're putting it into is quality of life projects. That would be park facilities, green spaces, open spaces, and tying it into our community. So, yes, they have $4.2 million. All they're doing is subdividing that money into three categories, and they're telling us what they're going to use within those three categories that money for. So I'll be supporting this because they've listed it in their budget, and it does tell us what they're using it for.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Let me correct that. They didn't tell you what they're going to use the money for. But I'm going to tell you what actually the money is going to be used for. At least this is what I was told anyways. For utility development is supposedly there's a company at the industrial district that wants to buy more water from the city. So therefore they want to increase the capacity of the water lines out there from whatever size to a bigger size so they can sell more water according to what I was told. So that's what the 2.2 million is for. The corridor development is for Fairmont from Preston to Burke, and that is to basically cover the open ditches from Burke to Preston on Fairmont. That's what the $1 million is for. And then the quality of life projects is supposedly is they want to try to do some type of trail system at the old property that we bought on Scott. So those are the specifics. The reason that they didn't give us specifics, or I don't know if any other council member asked, is because they don't want to come back to council. If they actually list specifics, then they have to come back to council and amend the particular budget since they were specific. When it's open-ended like this, they can use it for multiple things and can actually move the money around. And with that, I'll pass.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. We have no on just everything or no on just on I?
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. H and I.
H and I, okay.
Councilman Casados,
Yes, H
was
and I
on-
are no votes for me.
The H was on the first reading though, correct?
No, H is on the resolution, Resolution H for the industrial district.
Yes, sir. That's, okay.
That's a no, and I is a no.
And I'm voting no on H and I as well.
You better not voted no on I. Oh, you not?
I had a question. No question.
No,
just-
point of
Sir,
information.
1 second. We're back to the vote. You're voting yes?
Well, I want to ask something. Is there a way that we can defer? I
No,
got some more
sir.
questions
No, sir.
on it.
No question. Either
Okay,
yes or no?
No.
Okay. All right. We got no and I, but everything else, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. With that, you got all the no's?
Yes, sir.
Everything passes. Thank y'all for coming to City Hall. Appreciate it. God bless you.